Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you're catching us. Welcome to Cass County Today. You know Robin Betts, he's the fire chief here in Atlanta, and he came today with all kinds of exciting and informative things that we can use because you know we're under a burn ban, and July the 4th is coming up, and so we want to be careful about all our fireworks and fun activities. So we're just going to get right into it. Exactly how bad is this burn ban?
Well, right now, I mean, we're in a moderate to high range as far as fuel loads, and I kind of break it down on how we look at it as firemen. We have three different classifications of fuel loads. We have light, medium, and heavy.
What's a fuel load? Because you know, if you're like me,
okay, like a fuel load would be how they categorize it. Like light would be grass.
Oh, okay, grass fire.
Moderate
Okay.
would be like limbs of 6-inch diameter,
All
and
right.
then heavy fire loads are like your trees. Like during the ice storm several years ago, we had a lot
Lots
of
of
trees.
damage. Yes.
It left a lot of fuel load, what they call it, in the woods. But right now we're under a medium to high fire danger, and our drought index, to give you an example of it, we use what's called a Keacham scale. The Texas Forest Service does, and we're at a 600 to 700 rating. And what that means, 700 is really, really high. That's when our humidity. That's when people start seeing the big grass fires and
Like it's going on all over the state.
over.
Yeah.
And right now we're probably around 620, 630. So we still got a lot of moisture in the grass and the wood and things of that nature. But it's just mainly preventative maintenance. I mean,
And we have seen rain where others have not.
we have seen some rain.
Albeit a little. You know, we have seen a little.
Every little bit counts.
Yes, it
Every
does.
little bit counts.
All right, so if I'm the regular Joe Blow kind of homeowner,
Okay.
what should I do to prevent forest fires or grass fires or whatever, besides just common sense says don't go out and burn your brush pile?
Right. Well, there's a lot of stuff we run into, this year, that a lot of stuff that you can do inside your house for fire hazards would be like, your extension cords. You want to make sure you don't have extension cords run into extension cords. We run into
Okay.
that quite a bit. Check your smoke detectors. Check your fire extinguishers.
That's a good idea. I haven't
Smoke
done that.
detectors, you're supposed to do it when the time changes, but it don't hurt to test them once a month just to make sure they beep.
Right, good idea.
And your fire extinguishers are the same way. If you have a fire extinguisher that's 10 years old, it may or may not work for you, even though it says charged. Because good old gravitational pull will pull that powder
sucks that
down
yeah.
and pack it in.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
So you kind of just turn it over and burp it like a baby, and
There's your tip.
turn around and just leave it upside down and do the
Right.
same thing. Let gravity work the other way. Outside, make sure your grass and your weeds are maintained around your house or around your property.
Okay.
Because a fire will travel faster in higher grass than it will in lower grass.
I did not know that.
The lower the grass, the less it's burned. So,
All right.
boxes, any rubbish that may be laying around, old wood, get it away from your house. You'd rather it burn than it
Definitely.
burn into your house.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so there's your lots of good tips about preventing outside and inside. What about the drought? What kind of drought are we in? Because how do you think it's going to affect us?
we go through this probably every year, and we're on the normal tempo for 4th of July.
Oh, really?
Fireworks there. Yeah, we usually run into a burning ban around the 4th of July. And this year's not really any extraordinary than any other year. The fireworks are coming up, which is a big concern we're having. A lot of the fireworks that we discharge, or that the kiddos will discharge, you can watch. It needs to be under parental guidance.
Definitely.
A lot of stuff that is projectiles, missiles, and things of that nature really need to be observed by an adult, to make sure they're out, because it won't take but one little fire to start.
And the whole neighborhood is in danger. Yeah. So there's not a fireworks ban in the city of Atlanta?
There's not a fireworks ban in the city of Atlanta. We are allowing them to sell and discharge. You can't discharge them in the downtown area.
Okay.
But you can discharge them like at your house or a safe location.
Okay.
And so we're not restricting any fireworks.
So then if the city of Atlanta is not restricting fireworks, is the county, or
No.
is same thing?
Same thing.
Same rules apply in our area.
The only way that you can restrict fireworks is if the county judge were to impose a rule saying, hey, we're going to, due to the burn ban that's going on, we're not going to have any fireworks. And but he has not done that. He hasn't indicated he wants
Thank
to
you,
do that.
Judge.
So we're going to allow everybody to celebrate and have a good time on 4th of July.
Wonderful. Well, see, there you go. Go out and spend all your money, all your hard-earned money on all them fireworks that'll disappear in no time.
That's right.
I don't actually spend a lot of money on it, but I sure do like to watch it.
Well, I like to go to Texarkana or Shreveport. I can sit there and watch them,
Yes.
and the only thing I have to fight is traffic.
Have you set up, is it Harrah's, that lets you get on their rooftop
Yes.
and watch them? Now, that's fun. If you haven't done that, you might want to check
That is
that
true.
out. Take your own lawn chair, though, because you have to,
Yeah.
unless you want to sit on the ground. But it is nice down there.
Well, I hadn't been to Harrah's. I've been to I've been to Shreveport down there on Texas Street, I think it is. We watched them last
I
year.
hadn't been there. So, see, now there's two good ideas of if you don't want to spend money, go watch somebody else spend their money.
That's right.
Well, what else is going on down at the fire station?
Well, right now we're trying to stay cool.
It's very hot.
So, we've had a lot of things going, and just kind of keep you updated on what we've been involved in. The city of Atlanta has dropped their ISO rating, which is your insurance rating, to a 3.
That's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we
that's
were able to. It'll save the homeowners money
Yes.
on fire insurance.
wonderful.
It doesn't go into effect till October, but it's something that we've been working on for many, many years. And,
Great.
We have finally got it down to a 3. And in fact, there's only 2.6% of cities nationwide that are a rating of a 3.
Really?
Mhm.
What did it take to get to this rating?
A lot of it has to do with your infrastructure on water supply,
Okay.
your fire department,
Mhm.
training, your runs, dispatch. It's a combination of a lot of
Just lots
departments inside the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're working hard to lower the cost of insurance
Well, thank
within
God.
the city.
We can spend that money on fireworks.
Can.
Now, tell me, I know your response time is great.
Mhm.
I mean, they're quick on the job down here in Atlanta. What's the most interesting part about teaching your firemen? Do you do the school? You mentioned education just a second
Well, our
ago.
guys, our department's composed of 17 paid members. Then we have
That's good.
about 30 volunteers, and our roster's down a little bit. But our paid guys, out of 17 of them, we have 12 paramedics, because we run a mobile intensive care unit.
Wonderful.
ambulance. And then most of them are trained either to an advanced or a master's level in the fire service.
That's
And then
amazing.
we have hazmat techs. They kind of specialize in what they want to do. But to get hired on, you have to at least be an EMT and a firefighter through the state of Texas. And then from there, we let you grow to where you want to go, where your
where you wanna
expertise
go.
is.
Do you have any women firefighters?
We don't have any presently.
Oh,
We've
baby.
had 2 of them.
Really?
Yeah, and
How do they hold up? I mean, that's a lot of gear to carry. That's a lot of weight.
it weighs probably 70 to 80 pounds once you get it all on.
Oh my
And
gosh.
speaking personally, I actually was on shift with a female firefighter,
Uh-huh.
and she held her weight. I mean, yes. In fact, she actually outperformed me in some areas because they're more diligent, they're more aggressive, and but she did very well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Who
women
would've
women are good in the fire service.
And welcome
They
to
are
Atlanta's
that.
Fire Department if you're interested in being a firewoman.
That's right. That's right.
What's else is going on down there? I know you continue training. You said you continue
We
your
continue
education.
training. We have been, right now that's what we're in. We're doing hydrant maintenance. We're checking all the hydrants in the city. We make sure they flow, so if we do get a response,
Right.
then we actually have water.
Mhm.
We're updating apparatus, or fire engines and ambulances. We're in the process of doing that. We have a new addition this last year. We have a 95-foot snorkel truck. Platform.
What's a snorkel?
Snorkel's it's a boom that'll raise 95 foot up,
Ooh.
and it's really a master stream where you can flow water from an aerial device,
Amazing.
and it'll flow 1,500 gallons a minute. It's a 1972 model. It was given to us by Jim Collum from
Really?
Holly Mountain Air Park,
I'll be.
and he gave it to us, and we went through and fixed it up and personalized it, and it's in service today.
Oh, wonderful.
So-
That is very high.
Yeah,
Very high.
A truck like that would cost to the city, if you bought a new one, around $800,000 to $1 million.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So-
there's just no way City of Atlanta
No,
could do
we
that.
couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
That's wonderful.
But it was a generous donation, and we actually put it to use, and it actually helped on our ISO rating to get that down to a 3.
Now, will that thing fight fire since it's aerial? Could you
It will
effectively take it out?
An aerial truck is typically used when you have a fire that has, say, a house or a building that has grown so big that we're not going to commit resources inside due to the safety,
Right.
that's when we set up the aerial truck, and we'll actually use a master stream where we can flow into it, and you can protect all the surrounding
Isn't that cool?
buildings.
That's really interesting.
So
You mentioned house fires. Do we have very many here in Atlanta? You don't hear very many.
we average one or two. I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 a month on average. And what we call a house fire to what the normal public would call a house fire is where they go by and see the windows burn out and all that.
Right.
But we may respond on electrical shorts in a wall to where it takes a day to fix and they get them back in service.
So non-catastrophic
Right.
then, yeah.
Right.
But
Not a
as
lot of damage.
far as major burnouts, you don't see an awful lot, do you? Well, that's good
We
for
try
us.
to prevent that.
Yeah.
We do. And that's one reason we like to stress on the fire prevention tips, smoke detectors and,
Right.
and just general house cleaning to keep everything up.
You just take so much of this sometimes for granted, about like the extension cords plugged in 50 at a time or something.
Mhm.
It's a real hazard in it,
And I'm guilty of it too.
especially at Christmas.
Yeah, I am guilty of it too, because my wife loves to get on there at the Christmas tree, and she likes to plug power strip into power strip into power strip, and I go behind her unplugging power strip, power strip, power strip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's all for the kids. She wants to do everything she can for the
yeah.
kiddos,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just general knowledge for our safety. So, as times change and we get more computerized, we need more outlets.
We do.
I can remember as a kid many years ago, we had one per wall, and now we have 4 or 5 per wall.
That's right. Sometimes there was only one or two in a room.
That's true. That is
We've been in houses that we've remodeled for people that, one or two in a room, and you think, my gosh, but that's the way it used to be.
That's true.
Oh, now we need them everywhere and Wi-Fi to go with it, don't we?
Wi-Fi to go with
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
We are so spoiled, and I love it so much. Well, is there anything else we need to discuss? Think we got it all?
I think we got it all.
Are you having any fundraisers coming up?
We are looking at maybe having one in the spring.
Good.
For the volunteers to help raise money to. They're financing a brush truck right now. So we've been financing on it for now about 4 years, and they make payments on it.
Uh-huh.
And we're looking at having a fundraiser to try to offset the cost of that.
Well, I got to say I appreciate those volunteer firemen and their brush truck.
I do too.
About last summer this time, it was real dry, like you said, it's normal, and our mail person threw out a cigarette, and we live in a triangle, and it caught my neighbor's field on fire. And boy, they were on it like that, I'm telling you.
If you can hit it quick, you can take control
They
of it.
were on it. I didn't even notice it, and I was home in the backyard just burning up, but another neighbor did.
Yeah.
And they were very diligent, and they stayed out there even after it was out for a long time. You got a great crew.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And all you volunteer and paid employees, y'all do a great job. We appreciate it. As the general public, I'm speaking for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, I'm so glad you dropped by, Robin.
Well, I'm glad to be
If
here.
y'all got any questions you want to ask Robin or anybody else in the city government down there, we can sure email them or call the station here. We will be glad to ask you personally.
You betcha. If y'all have any questions, feel free to call me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be glad to entertain, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer out.
We always can find it out from somebody who knows better.
That's true.
And be sure, like you said, and check your smoke alarms and check your everything, even go back and double check all your plugs and stuff. Make sure you don't have too much plugged in at once. Well, there you go. You're caught up with fire safety for this week. Until next week, be safe and do not burn outside. See you then.